Squad building challenges, probably the greatest addition to FIFA since Ultimate Team was released, and coincidentally, is now the same thing that is killing the game. Today's video is sponsored by FUTLOOT, a very cheap and reliable place to get your FC24 coins. Use code ELITE at checkout for an extra 6%. I already know that at least one of you goblins is typing away down below saying that how can you kill something that's already completely dead? Kind of like my YouTube channel, which, yeah, it is absolutely a hilarious comment to put down below, but I gotta remind you that squad building challenges actually saved FIFA in the first place. Now, after the glory days were over, which I would consider FIFA 12 to FIFA 15 pre-price ranges, came FIFA 16. And FIFA 16 was so big of a dumpster fire, a mess, a failure, the most boring game in FIFA's history, and maybe one of the most boring games I've ever played, even outside of FIFA. That really hurt EA's momentum, because after all of those great FIFAs came out, a lot of people started to jump ship over to PES, Pro Evolution Soccer, by Konami, and if FIFA 17 wasn't spectacular, then a lot of people were going to stay over there. Streamers had already jumped ship from FIFA to PES and other games, and were exploring other ways to make content because of how terrible FIFA 16 was. I mean, there were people getting famous off of making foot draft challenges that literally were made up. I mean, they didn't exist within the game. You just had to get creative. And the clickbait was absolutely out of control because there was no other way to get somebody to click on a FIFA 16 video. It was that boring. But when FIFA 17 came out, that came the introduction of a lot of different things into the game because, well, if they didn't, they were going to lose a lot of their player base, which is currently happening, but we'll get to that. FIFA 17 was exactly the comeback that EA Sports needed after pissing off their player base for a year and a half straight. This game brought a new engine which revolutionized gameplay, but beyond that, they revolutionized Ultimate Team more than they ever had since its inception, with a ton of new additions, one of which was FUT Champions, which is still very relevant today. They also brought things like the daily knockout tournament, in which it kept players active all throughout the year with different rewards based on which promos are going on during that time. Then they also introduced dynamic promos with the ones to watch, and even though that's kind of faded out over the years, dynamic promos are still happening almost every other promo now in FC24. But more importantly than all came squad building challenges, which changed the game forever. Squad building challenges gave a new avenue to crafting packs in the game, getting new players for your squad, and making coins in Ultimate Team, and these avenues did not exist previously. Now, packs used to be pretty much only behind a paywall, in the store obviously, and then in FUT Draft, where that's behind a paywall in itself. And so players who didn't spend extra microtransactions on the game very rarely got to open packs in Ultimate Team at all, unless they were spending it with their own coins, which is historically, even at this time, not a good deal. And so these SBCs gave that great opportunity, and Road to Glories flourished because of it. Now, obviously, there was a lot of SBCs that year, but not nearly as many as what we have now. 350 squad building challenges came out during the first year of squad building challenges, which was FIFA 17. That's less than one per day, which made every single SBC pretty influential. Every single marquee matchups that dropped was a big deal during that week, and it gave people an opportunity to make a few more coins off of the players that they got out of the marquee matchups. And it also made people coins on those who invested in what the requirements could possibly be. It was a very, very good balance at the time, some of which still exists today. But if we take a look at FC24, which we are now just about 6 months in to the cycle, about halfway through the year, there have been 663 different squad building challenges. And again, that 350 was for the whole year. 663, and we're only halfway through the year. We're going to be well beyond 1,000 because generally a lot more SBCs start to drop throughout the summer to keep people engaged. They continue to ramp up more and more SBCs as the year goes on. So Are we getting too many SBCs at about 4 per day now? Well, I'd say it's definitely yes. But the biggest consequence of all with squad building challenges as the years have gone on is that everything is fodder now. All the cards of the same rating go for the exact same price. It's no more than a token into an SBC, with all of the player SBCs that we talked about. But on top of that, with all of the upgrade SBCs that drop for pretty much every single promo now, everything goes for the same price. Virgil van Dijk, who is an 89 rated absolute beast in the game, one of the most unstoppable cards, goes for the exact same price as an unusable 58 pace center mid of the exact same rating. And that doesn't make much sense when it comes to actually building an ultimate team. But now, because squad building challenges have absolutely taken over the game, EA are actually going into the store and just adding fodder cards to your packs in order to try to sell you fodder to go out and complete untradeable SBCs that are only going to last for a couple weeks before they get phased out by the next promo. And that is a cycle that continues to repeat and repeat and repeat, and it gets old after a little while. And now every single year, the community says that it dies sooner and sooner and sooner for them. And we hope for this remontada that FIFA 17 brought us years ago, but we're closer to 2030 than we are to FIFA 17 by a pretty considerable margin. And so I don't know if this is coming, but one thing that could push EA towards making the next iteration better and breaking this absolutely terrible cycle that we have been going through is the fact that content creators are starting to jump ship, just like they did in 2016. As you can see here, Nick, Run the Foot Market, switching over to eFootball and claiming that he gets more views there than on FC24. And with this culture change within the community, could bring a lot of pressure for EA to actually give a crap about making it a better experience for their customers. But hey, it is EA Sports after all, so who knows what they're gonna do.